Oh, here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe button. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Here we have another crazy story, Imagine that, imagine that. Or some individuals, for example, Little Durk, for example. Not even just Little Durk. A lot of these gang members. Well, we're talking about Little Durk. Focus on Little Durk. Is Little Durk, I'm not too much of a religious individual, but I heard something before. Is Little Durk living his life like in the Old Testament, meaning an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth? I don't know, but maybe. Imagine that. Believe it or not, a whole lot of these gang members, they believe in living their lives like how they did in the Old Testament, meaning, you know, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The New Testament, they completely forgot all about that. Believe it or not, they really did. They really did. They forgot that the New Testament said, you know what? Go check out what the new one said. But I know it was not an eye for an eye. It was something else. We're not getting too much religious, So let's go check it. You go check it out. So these individuals right here didn't realize doing things how people did things back in the days. It wasn't productive. It wasn't productive for anybody at all. That's why they said Jesus Christ had to come around and change everything up. So someone, what it said. But let's get back to it. So you have these individuals saying Little Durk. Well, hear what they're saying. I'll tell you what I think in a second. Unbelievable.
Booney, and to fans of his brother Lil Durk, as D-Thang was born on September the 15th, 1989. According to their mother's memoir, D-Thang was in many ways the polar opposite of his brother Durk, who was known as a wild child. However, D-Thang also had a short temper, which would often get him involved in fights, and as he grew older, he would also begin to spend a lot of time with older guys from the block, who were hanging out near their home on the corner.
As you can see, this video right here is about Lil Durk. Allegedly, he was living his life like how they did in the old days, an eye for an eye. Even though things supposed to change. It's not like, I understand that something bad happened to Lil Durk's brother. But if he knew who did it, why didn't he just call the police and tell them? I don't know. Believe it or not, if he had just called the police and told them who he thought probably did it, or he heard probably did it, he probably wouldn't have to worry about what he's going through right now. That's why they changed things, because it always wasn't working. An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. It just wasn't working. It really wasn't.
72nd and Green, this area being associated with a local gang known as Dog Pound. Durk was seemingly always close with the Dog Pound crew, but likely due to his closest friends being from Lamron and Taytown, he would also spend more time in that area, despite living in the Dog Pound's hood.
Man, what block we on, Joe? Where we at?
72nd and Green.
What's happening right now?
Believe it or not, it's so unfortunate. A whole lot of these individuals, they believe in an eye for an eye. They're stuck in always until they go behind the bars. And then that's when they start focusing on the New Testament, the new ways. It's crazy how things will get sometimes. Unbelievable.
Yeah, man, what's good, man?
Billy D birthday, man. My cousin, shit, out here getting it.
Everybody out here?
Yeah, man. And it's a big drill out here, man.
It's a big drill?
Big drill.
Where y'all from,
Old
man?
boy.
Where y'all from, fam?
This dog pound here, man. Dog pound wrong.
D-Thang wasn't the only one in Durk's.
You have individuals. I'm just talking. That's it. I'm just talking. That's it. Lil Durk said he from Lamron. Is that a street? I don't know. But does Lil Durk own a house in that street? I don't know. Does Lil Durk is allowed to go to that street and feel comfortable? I'm quite certain not. Imagine seeing you from a place that you can't go to and feel comfortable at. It's a crazy thing. So, I mean, don't forget these individuals, they live by the old ways. They really do. And what ended up happening is like, slowly but surely, they're all realizing that, you know what, realize that, you know what, the new way is a better way to go about doing things. It's a terrible thing. They thought the new way just came around just for no reason at all. No. A lot of these individuals are no longer around because they lived their lives from the old way of thinking. It's a crazy thing.
Family tree who was claiming Dog Pound, as his late cousin and OTF artist Newski, who was seemingly very close with Durk and D-Thang throughout his childhood, would also claim this set, while also being closely affiliated with another set called Face World 079. Even the music video for Durk's first nationwide hit, This Ain't What You Want, was filmed in the Dog Pound's hood, as can be seen from the street sign of Green Street at the beginning of the video. Growing up, D-Thang would have two best friends, Chino and SB, who were both from the eastern
Unfortunately, Lil Durk's brother, big older brother, D-Thang, he passed away. They said he was in a club, like one of those, you know, hole in the wall clubs, where you would think he shouldn't have been, where he should have known he shouldn't have been. He was at a club where they said only down and out individuals go there. You know what I mean? Poor people, poor people. Him being a successful individual, you think that, you know what? I bring the party to me. I won't go to the party, but no. Don't forget. Sometimes these individuals, you know what? They get a lot of money and they feel big and bold. Big and bold. Not just that. Sometimes they want to go around and be around poor people and they say, you know what? Look at me. I have more than you. I have more than you. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing.
Of the South Side, with at least Chino allegedly being part of the THF 46 gang set located in the so-called low end. After graduating from high school, D-Thang would move to Iowa together with Chino and SB for work, but while being there, Durk would begin to send them songs that he was making, such as the track Lamron Wasted, which would begin to garner attention in Chicago, as SB would later explain during a DJU interview. He would be the one to tell Durk to move away from simply freestyling his lyrics and shouting out all his friends and affiliated sets to actually
They said Lil Durk, he came such a long way, such a far way, long way, you know what I mean. Down and out, poor kid, became a millionaire. But for some strange reason, I guess he couldn't leave it alone. He was stuck in the old ways, the Old Testament way of doing things. Allegedly, I don't know. Imagine that. Imagine me stuck in your old ways. But imagine that. Imagine me stuck in a jail cell because you were stuck in your old ways. Believe it or not, they say sometimes, you know what, the best time to learn about the mistakes you made in life is when you're in a jail cell by yourself. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing, though.
Making more meaningful lyrics that people from all over could relate to.
After high school, me, D-Thang, and Chino had moved to Iowa. You know what I'm saying? We was out there hustling with the, the work, whatever, just hustling weed. Same time, I'm always not only stay in the streets, but I'm a corporate too, so I get a gig, a little supervisor job at a plant, so I'm hustling and working, doing both. So we out there.
Imagine that, though. Imagine that. Imagine making money, a whole lot of money at that, legally, and still want to be in the streets. I said, a lot of these individuals, not only do they believe in always doing things, they watch movies. They watch movies, and some of them even listen to rap music also. Imagine that. Imagine a rapper listening to a next rapper's music. And he's talking about unproductive things. So this individual is rapping about unproductive things, and he's listening to a next rapper rapping about unproductive things. Instead of enjoying your life as a millionaire, they want to talk about guns, they want to talk about crimes, they want to talk about murders. Ooh, I'm so cool, I'm so cool, I'm so cool. I know about crimes, I know how to do this. Unbelievable in their minds.
Just chilling. We with the Iowa, go out there hustling and then working. So, I never forget Durk would start sending us songs. You know what I'm saying? Him and his homie Isaac, they were sending us records. I'm like, damn, this is really dope. I'm like, damn, you really got this. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't even the Durk. He was Tay still. You know what I'm saying? So he finally shot a video with Reggie, Status TV. That's his cousin. You know what I'm saying? Reggie.
What I'm trying to figure out, are these individuals really from the streets? If you think about it right now, really think about it right now. If you really think about it right now, think about it. Was Lil Durk ever really from the streets, or he just, you know what I mean? Think about it. Because how could you really be from the streets? Being from the streets meaning, you know what, you're down and out. You gotta do all type of things to survive. I don't want to say the type of things you gotta do to survive. But you know what I mean? You gotta do all type of things to survive, if you know what I mean. So, from doing whatever you gotta do to survive, to start making legal money, not just legal money, but millions of dollars legally, and then you decide to do unproductive things, that just seems so strange to me. So maybe Lil Durk really wasn't from the streets. Because any individuals from the streets, if you're making millions of dollars legally, the only thing you really want to do is gonna have fun now. All I'm doing is having fun. Where are you? I'm having fun. What are you doing? I'm having fun. Imagine that. Indulging in the streets, and I'm making legal money, millions of dollars. That just doesn't make any sense. Maybe Lil Durk was never in the streets until he got rich. Imagine that. Or maybe he was never even in the streets. He was probably just hanging around with individuals who was in the streets. Let's go on. I can keep on going, you know.
And the video was wasted. It's probably still on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So it's wasted. So that started going up. Like, you know what I'm saying? It started doing good. Like, not even really doing YouTube videos like that yet.
Right.
So bro put it and it just started going up. And so he want to do music for real. He want to do this seriously. So we moved back. We was going back.
Yeah, it's crazy though. It's crazy though that there's a whole lot of individuals behind the bars right now where Lil Durk is. Most of them didn't have the luxury. Well, I don't know. I don't know who's there. Let me not say that. I don't know who's there. There's all criminals everywhere. Imagine that. They have corporate criminals. Criminals everywhere. Imagine that. But I'm just talking about local individuals from Chicago. Young brother, under the age of 35 years old. How many of them are multimillionaires? In the feds right now, I don't know how many. I don't know. From legal money, I don't know. Lil Durk's the only one. I'm assuming. Lil Durk went out of his way to throw away making legal money. Most criminals, Well, let's not get too much into it. If you know what I mean. Here we go. I'm just talking. Imagine that. Lil Durk is trapped in a cage right now, just like Larry Hoover. That small place. He went from having a big old mansion to having a little bathroom as a room. It's crazy how things will change once you decide to live an unproductive lifestyle, like how they did in the old days.
People are still hustling, getting money to fund this. We moved back and really started doing this serious. And then before you know it, like over just progressing, kept recording records. I used to be on this like, he used to always want to shout his guys out, shout everybody from the hood, the lamb, And I used to always tell him like, blood, the world don't know these. It's cool.
Believe it or not, Lil Durk's been rapping for well over 10 years now. And as time went by, he became more and more popular. I believe what happened, I don't know for certain. Only thing I do know for certain is that crime don't pay. But I see him do it though.
Shout these out, but you gotta start making real music, start having real songs. Like, I'm tired of every song hearing about your guys.
And after Durk's career would begin to truly flourish between 2011 and 2012, Durk would get D-Thang, Chino and SB and invite them all to join his musical venture, and the four would start the OTF label, something that was actually documented in a noisy documentary that covered the come-up of these young music moguls. Unfortunately, almost since the start, OTF would experience some major setbacks. In May 2014, only a few days after signing his deal with the label, Durk's cousin Nooski, aka Nunu, real name MacArthur Swindle, would be
As I said, we can keep on going. But one thing's for certain, these individuals, for some strange reason, they believe in the old ways of doing things. If you're a religious person, it's the Old Testament. An eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. The New Testament, I believe they say, you know what? I don't want to say too much, but it was different. But it was more compassionate. Basically, you know what? Give your brother a pass sometimes. It's not like here we go. Believe it or not, sometimes an individual will do something bad to a person, and over time, they could regret it. And in between the time they do something bad to a person, and in between the time let me start over. I'm just talking, that's it. So sometimes I said an individual could do something bad to a person, and you could say, you know what, I need to do something bad back to this person. But believe it or not, that's all we're thinking. That person who did something bad to a person, who they know when they do bad. Eventually, that person who did bad, he will regret it. Lose sleep at nights, lose weight. Eventually, that person will ask for forgiveness. It's a terrible thing. So you go out of your way to commit a crime, do something bad to somebody, just to ask for forgiveness because you know your faith. You know you're just a mere man, and you will meet your demise also. It's a terrible thing. I'm just talking, that's it. What do I know? But one thing I do know for certain, they say crime don't pay, but I see him do it. Unbelievable.